Welcome to GISTUBE TV. Kindly click on subscribe to get notified when we release new videos, and also click on the bell beside it to get notified. Don't forget to like and share. You can reach us on this number. Thanks. God bless.
What's the difference between the sex and the gender? Sex and gender.
Yo, what up, guys? We come through like bang the dead again on the street. It's this vibe on GISTUBE TV. I remain your loyal host, Crazy. Let go. Peace out.
What's the difference between sex and gender?
No difference.
You mean?
No difference.
There's no difference between sex and gender.
Sex and gender, yeah.
What is the difference between sex and gender?
Sex
And gender.
and gender. I didn't know.
Your foolishness is unpredictable.
Can you tell me the difference between sex and gender?
Sex and gender. That's so serious. And we have different meanings for sex. We have different meaning for sex. We have different meaning for gender. But the one I know is just that sex. If we are talking of gender, we have male, then we have female. But we are now talking of sex. It seems the same thing as in my own perception. It seems the same thing as gender. I don't know. I can't really say the difference. I can't really differentiate the two.
So to you, sex and gender are the same thing?
Yeah.
What's the difference between the sex and the gender? Sex and gender.
It's the same thing.
Huh?
It's the same thing.
Are you sure?
Yes.
How is it the same? Can you explain?
Sex, as in, it's almost the same thing.
It's almost the same thing, but it's not totally the same thing. Now you said almost. So what's the slight difference between the two?
It's just a few something spellings.
When you cry, what you're saying doesn't make sense to you.
What is the difference between sex and gender?
Sex and gender. It depends on the type of sex. There's sex that are meeting between man and woman. Okay. But sex and gender, like male or female, is basically the same thing.
What is the difference between sex and gender?
Gender is just a community word, like a agreed word decided by a community. But sex is just when you're talking about male and female.
What's the difference between the gender and sex?
Gender and sex?
Yeah.
Well, depending on the context, I think if we can as well interchange the two in the same context, so relatively.
What you're trying to say is the two are the same, right?
Yes.
Okay, there should be a striking difference between the two, right from the spelling and all.
Gender, sex. Yeah. What's your gender? What's your sex?
What is the difference between sex and gender?
Okay, you have to tell me when you're talking about sex.
Okay.
What kind of sex are you referring to? You mean sex as a male and a female, which is gender, or sex on the other way around?
What's the other way around?
I don't know. You tell me.
No, I'm
You tell me that.
I need your opinion.
Okay, they are the same thing. They are the same thing. Sex and gender, they are the same thing.
What's the difference between the sex and gender?
It's sex and gender. Okay, sex and gender. Sex defines if a person, gender rather defines if a person is a male or female. Okay. Then sex, the word sex, with what I know, actually depicts you having something to do with somebody, like an opposite sex having something to do with another person. Who is an opposite? Who is an opposite sex? You see?
That's between male and female, right?
Yeah, just between male and female.
What's the difference between sex and gender?
Sex can also be gender. Like gender is whether you're a male or female. That's the kind of your sex, your gender. But sex can be gender as per you're a male or a female, and it also means sexual intercourse, like sex, copulating the male and female gametes. Yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Crazy from GISTUBE TV. What's your name?
My name is Ayodetoro.
What is the difference between sex and gender?
Sex is when female and male are having sexual intercourse together. Okay. So why gender is maybe feminine or masculine.
What's the difference between sex and gender?
Okay. Sex is an intimate relationship between two opposite
what?
two opposite sex.
Two opposite sexes.
Sexes. While gender is whether male or female.